Hey, welcome back. Thanks for coming. Hope you all had a happy Thanksgiving. The Cerbello family, we had a good time. Got some days off with the kids. It was a good one. The girls are on to part number 2 of their trip. They're going to visit a greenhouse farm. They're going to visit a peeling operation, and most importantly, the Groot and Slot. They're a sister company of Bejo. They are the ones that physically select our traits that we desire in an onion to be grown in New York State. So that's done by taking onions, growing them, crossbreeding them, inbreeding them. Don't know what's next, but they got a system down and it works really well. All right, I'll see you at the end of the video.
Welcome at Bejo Agro. I used to work for Bejo, first at the trial grounds and last year for Team Americas. But then 1st of May I started as a co-owner of this company. A new opportunity came by. So welcome to our company, and I will show you around. Chester, this is our feed hopper. Now as you can see, we put organic waste from processing. You won't smell it. So in Holland, natural gas is there's added the smell. So we add it here ourselves. The processing runs 7 days a week, 24 hours. So each day we will collect with the trucks the waste from the processing to the center. One processor, one for the
But this is a little bit how we make what we make, and then we sell it to the bigger ones who cut them, and we also bought a cutting machine, and we will also do the process further. But well, it takes some time.
See, when I saw the container, I thought it was just the peel. I didn't realize it was like the whole layer of the onion.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
but the peel you have to-
would want
you have-
this
yeah.
inside here, and you see also a lot
Yeah.
of this in there. But it's difficult to put the machine so perfect that it's only the skin that
Because
gets
of
off.
size. Because of size.
Because of size and the blowing, and if it cuts a little bit too deep, it blows off the whole. So, and also for the people who are after peeling, it's difficult to only cut off the skin. So.
So other companies like Enza or other companies, they have all these different crops, but the Grote Slot only focuses on alliums. So that gives us some more leverage in those crops. One of the divided responsibilities is that the Grote Slot handles all the bulb, bulb production, the bulb handling after harvest on the fields. So big selections, big bulb productions, the screenings, what we call our trials. So the trials we have everywhere, like what we saw in New York, what you have in the West, we have that all over the world. And most of those trials, they end up in this facility, in this hall, to evaluate in the boxes after a short storage, after cleaning short storage. So to tell something about the Groot Slot as a company, because most of you guys are only familiar with Bejo, but of course as a partnership we see each other as equals. It's not always been a facility here, but it has always been in this village, in this region. And what we have here is the office, the processing facility, the hall, what we call it, and the greenhouse. And the greenhouse is only a part of all the greenhouse complexes that we rent or where we produce our parental stock line, stock seed for the parent lines. Small history. Has been a family business for over 125 years, and the oldest notes that they could find about onion cultivation within the family was traced back to 1914. 1951 the first noted variety, the Grobel, the Rijnsburger variety, was introduced, and in 1955 three different families, two families the Groot and the family Slot, they joined together to start this company, the Groot and Slot. Two families the Groot and one family the Slot, condensed in the Groot and Slot. In 1969 the cooperation between the predecessor of Bejo started. So Bejo had some important parent lines or OP varieties that they brought into, and they had the sales the non-domestic sales apparatus. In 1980 this location was purchased, facility was built, and in 2016 only the two last sheds, which we will see a bit later, those remain, but we have this new hall, processing hall, and the office was constructed. Being partners in alliums means that you can, we have the opportunity to work worldwide in onions, shallots, garlic. We have 200 active varieties in the product range, and we are the world market leader in onion seeds. We do a field evaluation, but also short storage evaluation before we make our decisions. So we gather the onions from the field per genetic group. For instance, these are early set onions from Italy. So Dutch early set onions. There are some French over there. We pile them up here and do the evaluation in the box. And then we make, based on those scores, field scores, and other scores like our reproducibility, tolerance levels. That's where we base our decisions on. Keep the test crossed, make it experimental or commercial, then it ends up in the catalog, so to say. We focus mainly on hybrid breeding, so that means you guys give us through Brian or Jan or directly when we meet, we can create varieties for your area. First we are growing sets, small onions, and they go in the field or whatever. Since COVID, it's a tradition that the whole office goes there because we have those temporary workers, so the whole office is planting the trial. After the evaluation, we have to make some decisions, and based on those decisions, we have to cross some parent lines or do the upkeep of some parent lines, and that's what we do in the greenhouse. But there's a whole process that predates that planting in the greenhouse. We also have some processing machines, and also because we do the bulk production. So we do the bulk production processing. Bejo in France does the outside field production for commercial varieties. We first have to process them on these selection machines. So wooden boxes go in, foliage gets cut, and then they toss out anything that is unwanted or out of description. It goes back. Sometimes it gets graded in size, and that goes on the truck to France. These are for the flowering trial. So parent lines that are either commercial, experimental, or potential, or we want to create varieties with it. We have to know how do they flower, how do they produce seed, how well do they produce seed. So we have flowering trials. This one is in Zaragoza, this north of Spain. We have a flowering trial in south of France, near Paris also. Where do we have South Africa? We have flowering trials, and I think in Argentina also. These bulbs have been produced for those flowering trials. So these are bulbs of a parent line, and they go to that area and they plant them there, and then we can give them more based on how well the flower behaves.
Does it also matter like when they flower for making crosses?
Yes.
Like this one flowers really early and late, but when you cross them, so you gotta...
Yeah, you have to have an overlap between the female line and the male line, because otherwise,
pollen's not
the
viable.
female will flower, but there is no pollen.
Right.
So there has to be some overlap. And in some genetic groups, that is really important because there can be a difference.
Is that something you guys look at in the flowering trials as well?
Yeah. The program we have there, so the set onions, those are like, there can be a big difference between flowering time. And sometimes you have a really nice cross, but there is no overlap in flowering time, and then you cannot produce it outside.
Right.
And we have to do our production outside because
that just kill the whole variety as a whole?
Not a variety, but a test cross. So it will never reach a variety.
Yeah.
Because it has to be producible.
Right.
So how our system works, we have a test cross. We can make it potential, experimental, and when it's experimental, our production department, they go to the bulk production, it goes to France or Spain, depending on the genetics, and they will look, can we produce this? And they test it for 2 years or 3 years before it goes into sales. Because we can make a nice variety, but if it's unproducible, tough luck, but it will never work. Because then, production. These are all stored here until the day we make a program. They get cleaned, put in the evaluation hall, and then we do the evaluation. Please don't touch these, because these are being DNA sampled, and it works in a system, so we cannot change the onions, then we get a wrong result. So we have some markers that we can use, DNA markers like meal sterility, mildew resistant. We can identify those with DNA markers. After selection on the small belt to reduce the amount of onions we have to look at, we put them here on the grading table. Then we select the ones we want, put them on a pallet, they get cut, and they go to the greenhouse to produce seed. Most of the selection is done between October and February, March sometimes, and it goes to the greenhouse, and where we can produce small amounts of seed to continue on those trials. So after selection, we slice the onions in half. The growing, sprouting is going uniformly. After cutting, it all goes to the greenhouse. All those small selections that I do for work in progress parent lines, they go to a different greenhouse in another village, and that's where we have 1,850 what we call cage spots. So a cage is a small isolation. One cage spot is 60 bulbs, and we can split them or double them. So you have half cage, double cage, double cage. And that's where we do our work in progress parent lines. So not all the commercial parent lines are being grown there, but only the work in progress. So there's 1,850 unique spots. So one of the things that we say in onions is it's like a Stone Age type of breeding, because everything we do out of head, or it's all so much subjective. So we try to create machines like this to have some objective kind of evaluation. So the Groot is not a very large company. We have around 75 people working for the Groot, including some co-workers in France and Spain. Those are responsible for the bulk production there. More storage.
Like our grading line, but just inside.
Large enough and only large enough power to grow. No, but this is for no market, because this is a parent line. I have a parent line A and a parent line B. This one has that trait, this one has that trait, and I want to combine them. It takes 18 to 22 years, 22 years, before you guys can have it on the farm, or you guys can sell it. 22 years around. The combination, so a generation of onion seed production takes 2 years, because first you have to create a bulb. I have 2 bulbs, I have to combine them, they have to make seed. That takes 1 summer, and then the next year summer I can harvest the cross, so to say. So the end product of that cross. But then I want to make inbred lines out of it, because I need inbred lines for a hybrid production in the end. So I have to put them in again, make an F2, maybe even F3, inbred those, and then I have 2 sets of parent lines. But those parent lines are not really uniform, so it takes another 3 or 4 generations also to make the female.
Well, it gets dark at like 5 o'clock now, so good evening. Well, that was a fun little trip. The end of the episode was a little abrupt. Bejo said from that point on, if you knew any more information, they would have to kill you and bury you underneath their trial plots. So I think that's a safe move to cut it off there. Proprietary information. They've been doing it for decades, and I don't blame them for not wanting to expose all their hard work. They do a great job. They're even better hosts. We appreciate it, Bejo. Thank you for inviting us into your facility and your operation. All the good people that you have working for you, you will be expecting our order for many years to come. Thanks for watching this week. We'll see you next week. Peace!